Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. The second staging of the three-day Jamaica International Cycling Classic got underway early on Friday in Montego Bay, St. James. The opening stage, a 37-mile loop route, saw more than 80 cyclists journeying from Witter Village, Montego Bay, through Falmouth, Rose Hall, and back to Falmouth before ending where they all started, at Witter Village. At the end of the stage, it was British Virgin Islands' Hasani Hennis who emerged as the early leader. Hennis, as expected, was delighted with his performance.
Obviously, I'm guest riding for AVR racing, and the strategy today was Anguilla to be the GC, and it turns out to be me. And no problem, one team. But today's strategy was to ride more on the defense, which is it didn't turn out that way. We went on our offense and did what we had to do, make the break, and we pushed the break throughout the whole race. And coming down to the finish, I let it out, and nobody couldn't hold my wheel. So my teammate stayed behind the guy that couldn't hold my wheel, let the gap open, and jump him to the line. That's how we got 1-2 today.
So just a slight correction, Hasani Hennis is from Anguilla. So Anguilla's Hasani Hennis, winner of the opening stage of the Jamaica International Cycling Classic. Trinidad and Tobago's Akil Campbell occupies the second position, and Jamaica's Jamone Forrest was the third to cross the checkered flag. Well, joining us now to recap stage one is SportsMax's analyst for the competition, Kainan Cook. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here on the SportsMax Zone. Talk to me about day one. Was it what you expected? Anything happened that, maybe we missed out on the action?
It was a pretty exciting day one. As expected, we saw, because of the breeze and the headwind going into Falmouth on the first leg and the third leg, because it was a 4-leg race, the race split apart in the headwind, and as expected, a break went. What was a little disappointing is that 2 of the 3 strongest teams in the race had 2 riders each in that break. So we had a lot of the stronger riders not chasing their own teammates, and the rest of the race kind of resigned to fighting for the 6th place. But it was a very good ride by the 3 teams involved, the Unity team, the 706 team out of Atlanta, and the AVR team, the Jamaican-based team.
Right, and
it was a really competitive day, and we look forward to see what will happen tomorrow, because there are a lot of stronger riders who didn't get to play a part in today's winnings.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of the teams are looking good, very, very organized. Andy Scorano, of course, he was last year's winner. Do you think he has what it takes to challenge and defend his title?
We will see. Today came down to a sprint finish, and he's not known to be the strongest sprinter. So we can't tell what his chances are for the rest of the race. He's there or thereabouts at the finish in the top 5. And if he finishes 3 days in the top 3 or the top 5, he could win this thing, because it's a race that's decided on cumulative points. So there's still a lot to race for. And whoever finishes in the top 3 3 days in a row will have a good chance of winning this thing. So it's still very early and it's still very open.
Yeah, Kainan, how would you compare the quality of the cyclists we have this year as opposed to last year's inaugural staging?
The quality of the riding this year is a lot better. We have twice, maybe almost 3 times the amount of entrants. And a lot of people, after seeing the good turnout last year and the exciting racing, and particularly the coverage of the racing, we hardly have televised races in Jamaica or the Caribbean. So because of what happened last year, we're seeing a much improved and much more competitive field this year. And I can only imagine it will get better next year as well.
Yeah, you spoke about the wind factor for the competitors on the opening day. Can you give us an idea of what the second stage will be like tomorrow and the difficulties that stage will present to the riders?
Tomorrow's stage is going to be much like today, except it's going to go twice the distance. It's going to go all the way to Discovery Bay, which is going to be about 120k. About 120k total, about 80 miles. and they're good. The first leg, the leg there, is going to be a very windy, as it was today, leg, and it's going to have two very nasty climbs. Not very steep, but very nasty when you've been racing an hour or two. And they're going to be pretty strong. So we're going to have the breeze to contend with tomorrow, and we're going to have two climbs as well. So I expect to see a couple of groups forming on the road tomorrow, and the finish be. I don't predict a bunch finish tomorrow. I think we'll have the field pretty much shut up into a few groups tomorrow.
Yeah, interested in how you feel about the quality of the local riders, and local in this instance meaning the Jamaican riders.
Well, I know we have some Jamaican riders that are going very well at the moment. We didn't see any of them today, so that's still an unknown. We want to see how they measure against the imports, so to speak. I do know we have some Jamaicans that are going very well now, like Andrew Ramsey and Jerome Forrest are going particularly well right now. But we didn't get to see them today, largely because they had teammates up the road in the break, and they weren't going. Their job was not to chase their teammates, but to do everything they could to see their teammates stay away, which they did, and two of their teammates won. So they were neutralized today, not necessarily because of their ability, but because of team tactics.
Yeah, I listened closely to Stage 1 winner Hennis today from Anguilla, and he pretty much worked out what his plan would have been today and how things went. I get the sense that he's confident going into Stages 2 and 3 as well. He represents Anguilla, but he's attached to a riding club in Miami, isn't he?
I'm not sure of his international, the club he rides for internationally. I know he's riding as a guest for the AVR, the Jamaican AVR team.
Yes.
I'm very impressed with what I saw from him today. And his instructions were to work for another member of the team, Shaquille. And it seems that he got himself into an early break and ended up getting the stage win. So the team tactics may well shift to defending his lead, or they could revert to trying to see Shaquille go for the overall in this, because this is a 3-stage race, not a 1-stage race. So the cumulative points, or the average points after 3 days is what we're going to go on. So they may be having a team meeting tonight and deciding what tactics to work with tomorrow, and who tomorrow and Sunday, and who they're going to be working for.
Yeah, when I watched it live this morning on SportsMax, it did appear to me as if the Guyanese, Britain John, had made a top 3 spot, but the official results we're looking at now didn't suggest that.
I thought he did make a top 3 spot. I thought it was Britain John coming in 3rd spot, and Andy Scarano and Chad Connolly in 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there was something that they readjusted the standings because of some relegation issue, but I wasn't aware of that. I thought he came 3rd.
Yeah. Just one more on the Stage 1 winner, Hennis. You seem to be quite impressed with what he did today, as you just articulated. But as you just mentioned, Stage 2 will be a lot different based on terrain and even the length of the ride, or the distance of the ride. Based on what you saw from him today, do you think he'll be strong enough to get a top 3 finish in Stage 2 tomorrow, and so set himself up for a run at the title?
Well, based on what he did today, I'd certainly say yes. The climbs we're going to face tomorrow are going to be an added feature we didn't see today. They're not mountains, they're power climbs. And he should be, if he can get over those 2 climbs, I see that he has, I would think that he has a possibility of repeating what he did today. But it's not entirely his decision, of course. There are going to be 60 other riders or 70 other riders trying to make something else happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, we definitely will see. Just want to confirm that I'm looking at the official results here. Britain John did finish in 3rd position. Chad Conley given 4th, and Andy Scarana 5th. Of course, Hasani, Hennis and Akil Campbell taking the top 2 positions, Marianne Lance and Kainan.
All right, well, of course, we want to thank Kainan so much, and we remind our viewers the 3-day event continues on Saturday, and you can stay tuned to your Home of Champions for live coverage. And of course, Kainan will now be your voice where cycling is concerned, so you can catch all the action from him. Thank you so much. We look forward to hearing you on the cycling coverage.
Thank you very much.
Take care. All right,
Bye-bye.
viewers, let's take a quick break and come right back. Stay with SportsMax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.